All right. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us here at the Out of Pocket podcast with Bad Boys. We got Ric Jones, Koby Pilgrim, Mike D, the world famous Mike D, and there might be a Kenny somewhere. I don't know. If we need him, I bet he's around.
Yeah,
That's
Kenny
our
all
story. We're
down.
here tonight to talk about the Moscone Cup. This was day one of the Moscone Cup, and I think we all have a lot of thoughts. I have some strong opinions about a few things. Ric Jones, you want to start us off? What do you like?
Well, hey, props to Team USA for taking a 3-1 lead. I like that.
Yep.
My complaint would be the gimmick pool table. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
And I want to be clear here with people watching. You're talking about the pockets, right?
Yeah, four inch pockets, dude. To me, you're changing the game. You're separating the pros from the amateurs, and it doesn't look good, dude. That when you're missing shots and they're not shooting shots they would normally shoot. There's a whole lot of ducking. Now I like safety play, but I don't like the 4-inch pockets. I don't like it. Just my opinion.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Pool is meant to be able to rob the pocket. And if you take away the ability of robbing the pocket, and the important thing I think is what you just mentioned, you can't shoot the same shots that you would normally shoot. And the problem is those are real pool shots. You're supposed to be able to make those shots, you know? So if you make a table you can't make those shots on, it's not a legit pool table. I've just never been for it. I don't like it.
Well, I think the one thing we didn't see today that you could easily see is if the player struggled, it would just keep getting worse and worse. Like today, Shane Van Boening played phenomenally well. Skylar Woodward, phenomenally well. Filler always plays well. But Earl didn't play so good. And
David Alcala, Northwest Cup, how deflating that can be,
right?
Especially in teams when your partner misses a straight in shot. We had teams miss some straight in shots today.
And I think we lost him.
Did we lose Ric? Okay, well, hey, I'm still here. Hey, Koby,
I think we lost you.
Yeah, and I think that was part of the problem. Oh, am I back now?
Yeah, you're back now.
You're good.
Yeah. All right.
You were just giving us a stink out for a while.
Into it. All right. That's funny. Yeah, the pockets definitely factored into that today. You know.
Yeah, Jason didn't have the strongest start, but it looked like he kind of got over that.
Well, I'll tell you, today, you know, I don't know how many of you people watched the press conference the night before, but Jason Shaw decided he was going to talk shit about how much straighter the European shot. And I'm going to tell you, they missed way more shots than Team USA. So it didn't go their way today. I believe
he said they were never going to miss a shot.
Yeah, we're going to make every ball. And Earl fired back. You're full of shit.
That guarantee. You just made Earl 100% correct.
Yeah.
But you know they have a poke Earl policy, man.
Yeah.
You know they have a policy that if you have an opportunity to poke Earl, poke him hard, fast, and a lot. Well, they want him imploding. You know, that'd be the most amusing thing in the world for them.
I'll give
win, lose, or not. You know what I mean? Just, you know, he's volatile. It is what it is.
I kind of think it's sort of pathetic that that's even a thing. Like, it's a mental thing. The dude's got a mental problem. Like, and if you're so afraid of his game that's how you got to beat him, yeah, fuck you.
Well, the thing
I'll edit that out later.
Right, no, don't edit anything out. Screw them. Look, here's the thing. I think it's a sad state of affairs. Look, I get the rival, and you want to dig at each other, but they put Earl up on this pedestal, and since they put him on the team, and I'm not saying he doesn't belong on the team, I'm glad he's there, and I hope he keeps his mind straight and doesn't get involved in the bullshit.
Right.
But it seems to me like Matchroom has been pushing for that right from the very beginning. Like
That's what I said.
have all of them want him to explode.
That's
And
what I
to
said
me,
last year.
I don't
And
like
that's what
it at
I
all.
said today. I was like, he should have worked some sort of royalty deal out for just the use of his name, because
Right?
that's the only reason he's on this team. It's the only reason he was in the mix last year is selling tickets.
Yeah. Well, Earl can play the game without a doubt.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Earl
I'm hoping it
is,
bites him in the ass, but I
Earl-
really
well,
think
I
that's the
hope
only reason.
Earl makes him pay for it. And I
Yeah.
hope he keeps his cool. But Earl, look, at 61 years old, the man is probably the best player on the planet for the age.
Yeah.
Okay. But and I'm somebody's gonna get mad at me, but this is not the senior division of the Moscone Cup. I think other players should have got the opportunity. But it seems to me like Matchroom made sure that Earl got put on this team because they're looking for the entertainment explosion value. I hope Earl doesn't explode. I hope Earl makes them pay for it. I hope he kicks the shit out of Team Europe. That's what I hope happens. I don't like the idea that they're trying. I mean, they've been saying it from the very beginning. Well, when's he going to blow up? When's he going to bark at the crowd? You know, it's like they're trying to encourage him to snap, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
cool for Poole.
No, I don't think it is either. And not even Poole. I don't think it's cool for humanity. If you knew your neighbor had PTSD or whatever, are you going to intentionally sit there and poke and prod and try to get the guy to go off? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more entertained by Skyler.
by
man.
definition, that's bullying. And our whole society is
right.
supposed to be anti-bullying now, but they won't talk about it in this
Right.
case. You know,
I'm
No,
more
you're right.
entertained by
You're right.
Skyler. You know, I mean, he gets
Oh,
pumped
me
up at the
too.
right time.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
look when Shane hooked himself really bad and made that great kick around the ball, made
Dude,
the 9.
That was
and he-
crazy with the
Dude,
bridge.
Yeah, when he turned around
Dude.
and strut, you know, he cocky pushed the bridge back
Yeah.
onto the table with that strut look. That's entertaining.
Yeah.
Earl
Yeah.
snapping is not
Now-
entertainment to me.
No, it's not.
Now, let me say this, Rick. Would you agree that that no one could disagree that Team USA has either a novelty player or a wild card player in Earl? Team Europe does not have a novelty or wild card player. Don't you think you could? There's no one that could argue that. Don't you? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. No, I think
mean, Europe
everybody
doesn't have
that's
a
on
65
Team
year
Europe.
old. They don't.
Yeah, I think Team Europe is. Well, I mean, if you,
No. So what I think, if
I agree.
if you're going the way I think you're going, if
Yeah.
they were going to do something they should have had like a throwback match and bring back Suke and some of the older guys and let them do a separate match. You know,
I would feel better if Team Europe had Ronnie O'Sullivan shooting with his snooker cue like he did in '94. You know what I mean? Then I would look at the teams and go, yeah, they both have somebody kind of older and a little,
Yeah.
And my God, I don't want to take anything from Earl. Okay, Earl is. I
Yeah.
think Earl and Mike Siegel are the best 9-foot 9-ball players the world's ever produced. Real talk. And I think that if Earl had time to shake off the nerves, he missed a bank today that I think in his prime he would have made every single time. He missed the bank on the 5 and did not get that great a shape on the 7 had he made the 5. That's not the Earl we all know and love as far as shooting.
Yeah, but you know
I
what?
don't
Look, I
he
think
didn't miss
Earl's,
him by much though.
I think Earl is in this match. I think Earl has way more to prove. I think Earl came into this with the right attitude. I think Earl came into the Moscone Cup this year and went, hey, I'm not putting up with the heckler shit. I'm here to show you guys I still got game. And he does. But I don't like the fact that Matchroom is still trying to push the button.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to dog Earl. I have huge respect for Earl's game.
Right.
To be perfectly clear, I've always loved Earl's game. Earl's attitude, when he loses it, absolutely just the opposite. I hate that. But
I
to
think
me,
that goes towards what Kobe's trying to say, though, is that it's not just that he's grumpy. There's some off-kilterness in there that's none of our business, quite frankly, other than to recognize that there's something going on there that makes us probably to where we shouldn't be bullying or picking on him. So I agree with what you're saying, Rick. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with
yeah. No, I think it's in poor taste to be trying to push that. Look, you want to get out there and you want to compete and you want to do a little bit of shit talk, right? Like Skylar Woodward or even Shane or Carl Boyles in the past, and but to intentionally try to get Earl to snap for snapping purposes, that's what they're doing. It's not to get in his head for the game. They want the explosion for the entertainment value. Right. I mean, they've made that clear.
That's bullshit.
This is not about, hey, I want to get in Earl's head and win the game because I got in his head. They want him to snap for TV ratings, and I think that's bullshit. I don't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
I agree.
But we can move on to some cool stuff.
Well, I didn't get to see it, and I'm not even sure if they showed it, but was Filler's nose as high in the air when he was leaving that arena after getting beat, or was it down a little lower? I don't think they showed him walking out.
I feel, look, I feel for these guys because you can tell by the attitude what they're trying to do is they're trying to create this vibe with the players, and they're trying to, get them to, I don't know, to be superstars, right? To amp up like Mr. T, or
they're trying to create a false rivalry
right? And unfortunately for these guys in the pool world, that's hard to do without making yourself look like a total jerk.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it's hard to step out there and go, I'm gonna pound your head into the ground, right? I'm gonna kick your ass. Woof, woof, right? We're the better team, and not look like a total asshole.
I would agree so much to that I've said before that I've always said about Jason Shaw. He's the only guy that seems to understand it's supposed to be like a high school pep rally. And because he's the only guy that understands that's what it's supposed to be like, he ends up looking like an asshole because there's 12 other people there doing nothing. You know what I mean? If everyone was acting like they're supposed to be acting, Jason Shaw wouldn't stand out as being a dick. They told him, act like you're at a high school pep rally,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They're supposed to get all pumped up and they're supposed to roar when they win. And but how do you, it's a very fine line to do that and not look like a jerk.
Yeah.
So
and
I
never was big on that.
Players one-on-one to, honestly, I can say most of these people are pretty decent people.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a match with Josh Filler, and he was at the height of people having some negative things to say about him. He was very kind to me. He clapped on a couple of my shots. I safed him and ran out. He was very nice. I would say he has the unfortunate luck or whatever roll of the dice. He has an aristocratic look. And he has an aristocratic look. Anytime he's not smiling and saying, hey, it's great to see you, give me a hug, he looks aloof. And and then maybe he's a proud kind of a guy too, don't get me wrong, but he does just naturally look aloof. So
look, let's don't bullshit anybody, right? To be this good at pool, you have to have that arrogance and that ego, or you don't get that good.
Hold on.
Now, to control that on top of everybody in the pool world idolizing you, that's tough to hang, especially when you're young.
Your screen's not to scale. I think you meant a little bit more. This is about in real life, just the size of your head.
Yeah. But to keep that ego in check when you're that good and the whole world's telling you you're that good.
Yeah.
And you have to have that ego and arrogance to become that good.
Right.
Balancing that act is tough. That's a tough gig.
Yeah.
And, at the Moscone Cup, they're telling you to act like an arrogant asshole with a huge ego. So.
But is that good for the game?
No, I mean, I love the atmosphere of the Moscone Cup. I think the atmosphere is absolutely awesome. But there's
it's
also
an engineered atmosphere. It's not a natural.
But okay, so let's put it into perspective as us as players at the amateur level, right? Have you ever had that friend, or when you're playing teams and the other team makes a great run out, but they make the 8-ball and scratch, right? And somebody on your team cheers because that guy lost. And that's very, very bad, right?
Yeah, no,
like, that's classless as all.
I've
hell.
had other teams do that to us, but our team don't. Yeah,
right.
You don't.
But we've all
on our team if you're that kind of guy.
Right, but we've all experienced that, right?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
when you're trying to amp up and at the Moscone Cup, it'd be real simple for somebody to overreact at the wrong time, and now you're labeled an asshole forever.
Right.
And I think it's a little unfair to these players to get those labels unless you go and you meet them in a different circumstance where they're not being pushed to be this entertainment thing that they're not.
Oh yeah.
They're not educated in being an entertainer.
Right.
You know, I mean,
right.
If I don't know if any of you guys ever had the privilege to see Keith McCready or those guys that did a lot of shit talking and gambling. They were entertainment as hell, dude. They were so much fun to watch. And those guys with those attitudes would be great for the Moscone Cup.
Right.
But what we thought was cool and funny then, if they did that at the Moscone Cup, people would lose their minds.
But that was that was natural behavior for
Jimmy
them.
Matai,
they're not having to be told.
They were
to
hilarious, dude.
Right.
But when you're gambling, it's acceptable, right?
Right.
At the Moscone Cup, people expect a little more decorum than. So yeah, I think it's a little unfair for the guys.
Yeah.
It's
and I'll give them that.
Yeah, we were just at the Northwest Cup. It's such a thin line. You know, it's a thin line for the spectators. If a player dogs it, how long do you wait before you say, "Come on, team Washington," or whatever? You know, your team.
Right.
You know, because we all got love in our hearts for each other. Plus, we don't want to be rude, just as a general kind of a thing. So when a guy super flubs it,
right,
you're happy, but you don't want to yell "yay." But on the same hand, talking about the thin line. When is it okay to say, "Okay, come on, guys, let's do this"? You know, you can feel the crowd.
Well, and you don't want to kill the vibe of the room, right? Somebody does a really bad shot. You don't want to kill the vibe of the room. You want to still keep the cheering and celebrating going. So,
right.
I will say today, day one for me, Team USA has a chance of winning this. Shane, I think, played his best Moscone Cup day in a very long time today. And I think Tyler Steyer,
freaking animal.
Exactly what I've been saying since day one. He should have been on the team since the first day he was put on the team. He should have never got bumped from that team. He played friggin' great, dude.
And he knows it too.
Oh yeah, he played great. Hats off to I mean, look, Skylar Woodward, he's on his way to make MVP again. That was a strong performance from him today. He missed that 8-ball he missed that 9-ball really bad. And before he sat down, he had already forgot about it, moved on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it was like he didn't even miss it. And oh my God, dude, he played so good. That 2-rail kick on the one. Oh my God, it was awesome. It was a beautiful shot. He made him and Shane made a ton of fantastic shots today.
So
I could not.
Do you think?
Mention, but go ahead.
Do you think having Earl on the team is changing the way Shane's shooting? You know, because everybody knows Earl's a big time idol of Shane's growing up, and now you got your idol on the team, so it's making him focus a little more, push and drop a little more drive now.
So for me, what I think is a couple of things. Number one, Shane won the world title this year. That's a big, huge monkey off the back. Number two, Skylar Woodward stepped up to be the vice captain. Shane never wanted to be a captain. He just that's not his thing, right?
Right.
I mean, you can't take a deaf kid that got into pool and went solo from all the bullies and
Oh, he's an
assholes of the
infant.
world.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they go, now you're a leader, right?
Right.
And then
And
the
it's
third
not
thing,
his fault.
no.
No.
But the third thing I would say is Earl's behavior at this event so far. I think Earl has shown Shane mad respect over the year.
Right.
I think his little digs at Shane at the beginning of the press conference was all in good fun. He
Yeah.
made that clear. And I think
I would
Shane
imagine
is
those are
just,
jokes they've made outside the press conference over
I think
the years.
Shane just feels like he's vindicated now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was just like, oh, Shane can't play worth a shit in Moscone Cup. And I think it's always been because the Moscone Cup, Shane had the world on his shoulders, even when they were like totally outmanned.
Right.
Shane had not got that world title, which goes a long way for these guys, right? You get a world title. Now you're Hall of Fame level, right?
Right.
And then Earl's behavior and that, Earl's one of Shane's idols. So I think all those things together, I think Shane came out comfortable this time. He did. I don't think he was stressing, and he played phenomenally great right out of the gate. Yeah, I think Team USA might upset this year. They're looking like they feel good.
Yep.
If Earl keeps his cool,
I hope so. That would be wonderful.
I think if Earl keeps his cool, Team USA wins.
So
even if Earl doesn't play good, if Earl keeps his cool, do you notice after Earl's match today, he stayed there?
Yeah.
And every time after a game, he'd run out there and fully support his teammates.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether people like Earl or not, Earl wants this win.
Yeah.
That's no doubt. You can tell he wants this win.
Right. What was the deal with the ref?
No,
They were talking the racking deal early on.
Yeah, I agree, Kobe. What was that about? Do you know, Rick?
I don't know for sure, but I can tell you if you go back and you look at the beginning, that 9-ball was going straight towards the pocket way too often, way too close. I think they just went, hey, dude, you got to make sure that rack is tight. I think that's really what the conversation was.
Yeah, yeah. No, they come in for that second slap. You know, they go off the rail and then back into that Corey Duel 8-ball style.
Right.
And they slapped that 9-ball a second time. And no, it kept slapping it right near the quarter pocket.
Yeah. No, and it was drifting that way. And it was, it's, how about that shot with Oscar? I mean, great example of, you know how something happens in a game and then you go, yeah, this just ain't meant to be. Right? You played matches.
Oh, yeah.
When Oscar Dominguez, when the 9-ball didn't drop for Earl's break, and it was in the jaws of the pocket, and Oscar Dominguez kicked 2 rails, tried to hit the 1, and then knocked the 9 into the side, and he hit the 1 and didn't hit the 9, which was insane.
Dude,
right? It was insane. Like the air should have knocked it in.
Right. He hit it perfect.
When he did that, I turned to Bonnie and I said, oh my God, this match just isn't meant to be. They just can't get a roll.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great shot. That 9-ball should have went. How do you hit the 1 and not make the 9 on that shot?
Right.
Right. I mean, it's just, wow.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
And that was definitely the start when Earl started the whole, his normal, man, we just don't get it. We don't ever get the rolls. They're just not getting the rolls. And that's one of those things where let it go.
I
felt like Oscar was having a hard time fading that a little bit. I felt like Oscar just said, all right, come on, we got to get to work, man. Let's
look, people can say what they want to say about Oscar, dude, but I'm telling you, dude, I was very proud of you could tell he was trying to keep Earl in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, I think, you know, I mean, honestly, I think Earl and Oscar going into that match, if the odds makers would have said they were going to lose that match.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Just not to put anybody down, but, and then Earl made some huge mistakes there. I mean, he missed a couple of shots he should not have missed.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah.
And Oscar kept him there. You know, he kept him there, and
Right.
And they didn't, dude. They didn't get any rolls.
Yeah.
Earl's not
It's-
wrong in that match.
No,
When
he's
he-
not
I agree.
wrong. But you can't just sit there and wallow in your own shit, and complain about the smell.
But
And you don't
I'm
get to do
saying,
both.
and this is no disrespect to anybody, but when you're playing scotch with somebody and they're bitching that they're not getting any rolls, and then they get up and miss a straight in shot,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
hard not to be a little disgusted with that.
Right,
And I'm
yeah.
saying, I felt like I saw some things pass over Oscar's face real quick, where he's just like, okay, well, here we go. You know?
Yeah, no, I think Oscar did a great
Yeah.
job. Great job.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Speaking of that, not to make this all about Earl, but just it happened to come up. You know, they've got all the players mic'd, including when they're sitting on the bench not playing. I find muttering to your teammates as someone else is literally down on the table stroking the ball through very rude. They're close to the table, man. They should not be talking to each other. And I hear Earl a lot muttering is the other
Yeah,
team, or
I don't
even
know if the
his team
players
is
could
shooting.
hear.
That drives me batty, man.
Yeah, that would be a great question that we should ask. See if we can get any of these guys and ask them if they can actually hear that. But yeah, I would say if I was going to critique Earl at all, obviously he missed some shots, and that's part of the game. One of your players is going to miss, right? But if I was going to critique Earl at all, it would be when he got up and shot a shot and missed it. And then he turned to Oscar and said, well, you should have done this.
I saw
Okay.
that one.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I heard that. You should have followed it, but that's okay. Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. He didn't.
I'm glad you remembered that.
Yeah.
Yes.
When his shot
Yeah.
was over, your shot was still makeable.
Oh yeah. Very
You don't
makeable.
say that, right? You don't
Freaking
get to
straight
say
in.
Yeah.
it. To me, all you're doing is bringing your teammate down when you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course. Of course. There's
So-
no point in saying it.
Right. And so when
The
that match
feeling
was
gets
over,
over.
and then I saw Earl stepping out there and rooting his teammates on, I thought, okay, maybe he got past that and good things are going to come.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought it was a good day.
My connection to DANZ Dan's.
Days and
Yeah.
My connection this year was the best it's ever been. The fast forwarding was the best it's ever been, and the rewinding. I just want to say something positive about them. I'm not thrilled with the layout, to be honest with you, but I know there's a lot of negative being said. I just want to say this year it seems a tiny bit better. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
no,
A lot
for
of
me
people
this year,
complained
it's-
last year, and I didn't have any problems last year. So
Oh yeah. See, last year I did have problems.
yeah.
I
Last
couldn't
year,
watch it last year.
I'm off doing stuff, and then you come in, and at the beginning, when you bring it up, it just say, "Do you want to watch it from here or from the beginning?"
Right.
And I'd click on from the beginning, and they would play for a bit, and then it would jump past everything,
Yeah.
right? And then there was no way to go back.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. If I'm
Yeah.
paying for we're talking about
Yep.
something that lasts 3 to 5 hours a day.
Right.
I need to be able to back up, go forward, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
But,
think
yeah,
all
so
of us with
far,
our
it's
lives.
been
Yeah,
good.
there's stuff that happens, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
I
were
should-
talking about some things on Messenger that I hadn't seen yet. I was taking kids to school or, stuff like
Oh,
that.
shit.
Yeah. It's,
Delana has to stay off Facebook and mute all of our chats because she can't start watching it until Cody gets home, and it's like 3,
oh,
4, 5 o'clock before they
Oh,
can
yeah.
start watching it. Well,
Yeah.
the whole day's over by then,
right,
Yeah.
right.
By the time she gets to watch it, we got Mike D setting up his computer for the
Right.
for the
Yeah.
out of pocket show.
Yeah.
Rick sends me a message. It's 6:35. I'm like, I know what time it is. My wife's sitting there. That's funny, man.
Great day one, I'll tell you. I
Yeah, it was
can't
a
wait
great
to
day
see day
one.
two.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do we want to wrap this up and do one tomorrow too?
Yeah,
What do you guys want to do?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wrap this session up anyway.
Let me do it. Hey, everybody, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Moscone Cup edition of day one. This has been Out of Pocket with Bad Boys. Bad Boys and Out of Pocket, I should mention, brought to you by Ric Jones. Let's be honest. Ric Jones,
Koby.
Kenny Jones, Koby Pilgrim, Mike D, the world famous Mike D. Thanks for joining us, and we will. I think we're going to get another episode out. We're kind of liking doing this. All right, cut us out, Koby.
It's the red button, Mike.
All right. Yeah.
Oh.